Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. So I'm going to catch a visual. I'm seeing someone sitting in a chair. You know, it kind of looks like one of those rooms where I heard they confessed. And it's like a AA meeting and the people are in a circle. But in this case, it's a little different. The setup is different because I see one person in the middle and they have all black on, like they going to a funeral. Okay, like an all black outfit, but it looks funeral like. And they're sitting in a chair and there's individuals around them in a circle, but they're not in chairs. They're actually, it looks like they're bowing down, and it's odd, but that's what I'm seeing. And there's one person that's in front of them and they're putting their palm on their forehead, kind of like holding them back. And all of the ones around them are kind of like in the position of a dog in a way because of how they crouch down. I know it's weird, but that's what I'm getting, okay? But I don't know what this means yet, but we're going to find out in a second. Okay. Also, the person's back is turned towards me. Or at first it was initially, and then I saw the person from the side, and all the people around them. Okay. No one's saying anything. There's no talking. It's just the imagery. I'm hearing settling. Why settle? Okay, so there's something here regarding settling. Why do people settle? Is what I'm getting. Okay, so this is where we're going. Okay, we're going to a space where we're understanding what it means to settle on a deeper level. Fear is one reason. There could be different variants of the types of fear, but fear, okay? Not feeling worthy, not feeling valuable to a certain extent. And I'm also getting that one person can feel valuable in one area and in a different area, not so much. If this is a relationship situation, the guilty conscience can affect someone's ability to accept themselves as worthy or of value. So they'll settle for whoever is there. Who is the individual that I could contact and they come immediately? It doesn't take them that long. It's a situation where it's just easy. It's easy. It's the easy option. Anything else there? Fear, feeling not worthy or not valued. I feel like maybe it's something else, but I'm not picking up on what that is yet as to the reason why someone would settle. Settling is not the best for both parties, is what I'm getting. It's not the best. And the reason why is because there's dishonesty there. I'm getting that there's dishonesty in that relationship dynamic. Because if a person is not, if they're not truly in it, if their heart is not in it, if their mind is not in it, they'll be very detached. Sometimes people want to be detached in a relationship to prevent their feelings from getting hurt, possibly. Okay, so that's one aspect that I'm picking up on here. Okay, settling. I'm going to give the example of a relationship. Settling to be with someone that is not really serving the purpose and is not really what you want because they don't have what you need. Not really what you want because they don't have what you need, but you settle. I'm just picking up that this could cause many problems. And it's like the message is coming at me, right? From different angles. But it's empty. It's empty. There's emptiness here. It's a very empty empty space, empty pace, empty place. I almost said empty pace. Pace? Where are we going? What are we doing? Have you ever been in a relationship and you ask that question? So what is this? What are we doing? Where are we going? What's up? Like what? Hello? Is anybody there? Okay. That's a valid question. Are we even on the same route? What is this? Is this right? Am I delusional? Am I delusional? Okay. That's the energy that I'm picking up on here. Like why? What is this? What are we doing this for? When you get to the root of the question and you be honest with yourself and you ask yourself, why am I with this person? Because they don't look quite right in alignment with me. There's a lot that's not, that should be. Okay. Settling. Settling is dishonest. It's like somebody forcing someone else to marry them, and the person that had to be forced into it never really wanted it. So it's likely that they're not gonna be faithful. They're just gonna do what they want. They just kind of like, they could have a laid back personality where they just go with things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are not still going to do what they want to do. Okay. So that's a means to break a heart. Why break a heart if you don't really have to? Sometimes it might be necessary if someone doesn't want to accept your terms and conditions. I just heard. There's some people that don't understand. No, they don't understand when you really mean something. Or even if they do, they act like they don't so they can get their way. This is going to cause you dis-ease. It could actually cause you sickness as well. Like, stress, anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen next. It could cause a downward spiral, and it can also cause one's frequency to decrease. So you could be one who's on a high frequency, but if you choose to settle and you don't really want to be in that situation, but you're just like, I get this, at least I get that, whatever that is, question mark, you fill it in. At least I get that, but that person doesn't have that. And I'm not saying that the person has to be like a Build-A-Bear and you just get everything you want, because sometimes that's not possible. However, what do you need is the question. Why settle and that person can't even provide you with that need? There's certain things, especially emotionally, that individuals are in need of. And if they cannot get at least that, or I should say at most, because that's a big thing. If they can't vibe on an emotional, spiritual level at most, then that relationship or situationship is going to be very shallow for the entirety of. Okay? Very shallow. Very, I want to say the word bleak. I don't usually use that word. So let me just make sure I'm using it properly, because I don't usually use that word. lacking vegetation and exposed to the elements, charmless and inhospitable, dreary, cold and miserable. Yes, that's the right word. Bleak. Very bleak. Who wants that? You know, why settle for something like that when that's not what you want? You know, that's not what you really want. That's not what you need. It's really about the need. It's not so much about the want. The want could be included when it's possible. However, to be with an individual or to continue to stay in a situation that does not accommodate your need when you have a choice, there's no sense in that at all. Especially when you end up being more beneficial to the opposite party than they are to you. So you really sell yourself short in that space. It's really about the reciprocity and the mutual understanding, connection, vibration, chemistry, spiritual connection, divine alignment. Because something will always be wrong. There will always be some type of detachment, some type of inability to truly align or activate, take specific actions that you truly want to take when under such conditions, and then wanting to put a muzzle on it. That's random, but that's what just came to me. Then wanting to put a muzzle on it. You know what that gives me? It gives me that many of you have settled before. And I have too, so I'm not even gonna try to act like that. You know, I've done it before too. And so a lot of you have settled for a person. Not to say you disliked everything about them, because it's usually not that. There's usually something that keeps you there. Ask yourself, what is keeping me with this person? And I know I'm settling. Then you can get to the root of what you want and how much you put that thing, whatever that is that person provides you, how much you tally that up when it comes to what you're looking for, what you desire to have, and what is meaningful to you. If you find that there is an imbalance and you're missing a certain level of harmony within self because you want something that you might want it, but you don't necessarily need it, is it worth it? You just want to ask yourself that. Is this worth it? And you weigh the pros and cons yourself to see, how you feel about it. Is this something that you should continue? Is this going to be valid in the long run? Okay. This is going in so many different places. Hold on. Yeah, so what I was about to say is, you remember I said that the one that was sitting in the middle in the chair was holding their palm kind of like this on the person's head, like on the forehead, back away from me. It's weird. It's weird. That's a weird image in my mind. It's uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable seeing it. And that's how you feel when you're in a situation that you don't really want to be in and you're settling. It's uncomfortable because you know for sure what it is that you're looking for. And if that person cannot provide it, then you are really playing yourself. You end up playing yourself in the long run because you're like, this is not really what I want. I'm just kind of here because of convenience or whatever. The person's nearby, whatever it could be. It could be many things. And then the whole palm on the forehead is just so crazy to me. It's so crazy. But it's giving me this energy of I want you to increase what I like and decrease what I don't like. It's how can I even say this? I'm trying to articulate it. It's actually a little challenging for me to articulate this. And then I heard put a muzzle on it. Somebody likes to argue. Somebody is toxic. Somebody likes to, I heard riffraff. Listen, I'm not sure what that means. No, I'm not sure. But somebody likes to, it feels like bicker. It feels like someone who just wants their way and doesn't really care about what anybody else wants. Not even you. Okay. That's a turn off, because that is the aspect of this relationship or this individual that you really had a disdain for. You did not like it. And you if you're still in it, you don't like that. It's like the worst thing. So it's like, get away from me with the palm on the forehead. Get away from me. Okay. Stop. Stop. I'm hearing somebody say, stop. Stop. You know, it's like firm. Okay. A firm stop. Like this is something that happens. Stop. I keep hearing stop. Okay. And, there's something else here. Hold on. Let me see. What is it? There's something I want to say, and it's like I feel blocked from it. I see a forest, but the grass is dry. I don't know. It's like a path of dry grass and dried up tree leaves, but they're on the tree. And then it's like that path is dried out. And it's a straight path. But on the sides of the path, it's green and fresh like it's springtime. But there's this one area in the middle, and it is crispy. The grass is dry and crisp. Dry to a crisp. And it's tan. It's not even like brown. It's really light tan. That just is giving me that nothing can grow here. Nothing can grow here. Are you interested in growth in your life? Do you want to improve? Do you want to be better than you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, then are you still sure that you want to settle for this person? Is this really what you're going to align yourself with? Anytime something is not growing, that is not divine alignment. The journey will always consist of growth. It will never consist of not encouraging growth, because that's the point of life, to learn and grow, to know, understand, and become wise. So I heard there's no excuses. Stop making excuses. Don't make excuses to keep yourself from experiencing the life you've always wanted. It sort of feels very specific right now. Okay. You know exactly what you want. So why are you doing that? What's going on? Okay. The more you continue to move in this area when you don't really want to, the more challenging your experience will be. I heard you shouldn't have to hold this person by the forehead. Hold them by the forehead is crazy. Wait a minute. You shouldn't have to have palm to forehead. Okay? It shouldn't be that way. Especially if that's not something that you want to do. Maybe sometimes people like to do that. I don't know. Maybe sometimes people like that dynamic in relationships. They like when it's a little toxic. Some people like it. It's true. Some of you might be like that. You like you like it. Okay? It's fine if that's what you like. But for those who are completely over it, or maybe they liked it before, maybe you liked it before and now you're like, I've grown from that. I'm not that person anymore. There's things I want to actually connect on. There's things I want to connect on. It just feels like many of you want a anytime you have relationships, no matter what type of relationship it is, you want there to be a spiritual connection. You do. You're no longer in this space of frivolousness where you don't consider someone's beliefs before you hook up with them and connect with them on a friendship level or romantic level. There's also, I want to go back to what I had said about how settling is a fear. It's a fear. That's a fear of the unknown. Settling, because it's like you go into the mode of what if a little too much, to the point where you become debilitated. And instead of allowing yourself to explore and discover, you become fearful and you freeze. Like a deer in the headlights. You freeze. It's just a very unfortunate position to be in, because there's so much more that is meant for you to explore. And if you take on this way of settling, it is very likely that you may not ever get to experience those aspects of life that you were meant to. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Okay? And that's like a representation of your higher self speaking to you. Because you never really reach your full potential under certain circumstances, and that is one circumstance that could cause you not to reach your full potential. Settling for a relationship with someone who has a lower frequency than you. They're on a different timeline. And so it's like you're in two different worlds. Okay, that is a challenge, and that is an unfortunate event, because it solidifies one who thinks lowly of themselves. They don't think highly of themselves because they don't feel like they're worthy, or they don't have a certain level of value that they feel that they need to have in order for them to be with someone who is an improvement from who they're with, in whatever way that is. So that means that for those who choose to settle, they have some work to do so that they can feel more confident in themselves and have a certain level of understanding of themselves. Because once you have a certain level of understanding, you realize what settling could do to you. Not just to you physically, but also spiritually. And it really stunts you. It prevents you from really being able to live life in its fullness. It's like living life. You know that saying? You look at the glass and it's half filled with water. And they ask, is the glass half full or half empty? And in the case of settling, that's half empty. But in the case of knowing your worth and your value, then it's half full. You see the perspective shift? That's the energy that I'm feeling. And make sure you're looking at your glass half full and not half empty. And I don't want you to say it just because I'm saying it right now, even though I just said make sure. But I'm saying that more so saying, like, make sure that you are viewing yourself properly. Otherwise, you're going to cause yourself harm. You're going to harm yourself spiritually and maybe even physically in some way. Okay, maybe even mentally. Because being with someone who's no good for you could cause mental breakdown. All right? Anything else? You don't have to put the palm to the forehead if you don't really want to. So don't put yourself in a predicament where you feel like you gotta fight somebody off because they tweaking. Okay, because that's the energy I'm getting. like being with someone who doesn't know how to control themselves in a certain way, and then you dealing with that and it's stressful. Why bring stress to your life? That's really the opposite of what one should want, even though many have their own wants, and desires and things. It would just be odd for someone to actually want that, at least from my lens. Choose what's best for you, not what's worse for you. So yes, that's it. Is it? Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that was the last message. Why settle for less if you don't have to? That only happens if you have forgotten about your worthiness and your value. Sign up for my newsletter, Honeybee News, and anytime I have some information to share with you, I will send it to you via email. Okay, you could just scan the QR code at the end of the video with the little rose and the honeybee. Okay, so that's it for this message, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.